Hey, welcome back. We're back in the shop. Got a 2013 Ford Focus. Got a little noise in the front end. My daughter's car. Actually worked on this thing before. Put struts in it. And had an issue with this strut on the front side here. Might just take it out and trash it and get another one. Keeps coming loose on the top of it. I'll show you when we get to it. But just make sure we're going to jack it up first and kind of move the wheel back and forth, make sure we ain't got no wheel bearing issues, and kind of probe around everything before we actually start tearing the strut off. But I think we're probably going to end up pulling the strut off, sticking another one on there. So I may set you up over here, might put you on turbo mode here, and we'll tear into this thing. So this strut removal is basically just get her up on the jack, get your lugs broke loose, and get the wheel off of there. This one was pretty tight too. Then just get your top strut bolts loose there, and then down there on the bottom, took a little chisel and drove after I got that bolt out, bottom bolt out around the strut. Just took a little chisel and drove in there to separate that a little where the strut would come out, and put some blocks under there to move my jack so I could use my jack to push the bottom of the A-arm up there, and just gives you a little bit more control on raising and lowering it and getting it out where you need it to be. Also took my flashlight while we had everything out there and just kind of give everything the old once over, look around, make sure everything looks like it's supposed to, ain't got nothing leaking, ain't got no excessive wear on anything, look pretty good there. All right, let me bring you back in here. Of course, this strut's not really a complicated thing. These three bolts that go on the top of it right there bolt down through these two holes. You can see them there, and there's the third one under there. So you actually don't have access to this center nut, which we'll get back to here in just a minute. And on the bottom, this piece here sits in here, and it's got a little guide that lines up with that. And there's one bolt that goes through there. I've got a chisel stuck in there, separate that to pull it out. And so just put these struts on there not too long ago, and I'll show you this new one. I went over here and picked it up at O'Reilly's just a little while ago. And so when you get a strut, it's always got this caution stuff on the top of it, telling you not to take that nut off right there, because that spring is held on by that nut and it'll fly off and knock your teeth out. And on the manual it comes with, I went ahead and opened this up and circled this: do not tamper with piston rod nut. Caution, do not loosen center strut mount nut. So I got all these warnings about not messing with that nut, and so I've never had an issue. Now I have replaced, you can buy just the strut without the spring, and you got spring compressors, got some in the toolbox over there. You can compress the string, take pressure off of it, take that nut off, take this off. You can replace just the shock part of the strut. It's cheaper, and use your same springs. But if you got a bunch of miles on your car, that spring's probably weak anyway, just get a whole new one. So that's what we done last time, and I went online and got the cheapest ones I could find. And you know what I got? I got the cheapest ones that they make. So I put it on there, and it rattled like crazy. So I ended up taking it back off, and this nut was loose. Well, I ain't supposed to be messing with that nut. So I tighten her down. You have to take a pass-through. Let me go over here and get one so you know what I'm talking about. If you got a pass-through socket, so put your pass-through socket on there, and you ratchet, and then your Allen wrench goes down through the middle to hold that shaft. So then you tighten that thing down. So I tightened her up, put her back on there. She drove it a little while. Come back, and that stupid thing's just flopping. Took it off, it's loose again. So I went through the whole process again, and I tightened that bad boy down. And I'm trying to remember. I think I put a smack on the, I don't really see it there. I put a smack on them threads right there somewhere with a screwdriver so it wouldn't back off. And I marked it. It's better if you do it with paint, but I just did it with a Sharpie. And so anyway, dropped back down here today and I drove it again. And you can hear the sound a little bit, but it wasn't like it was before. And this nut is not loose like it was before, but it's making the same noise. So my thinking is, this is the third time I've had this thing off. So you know where that's going? It's going in the scrap metal pile. And I'm putting another one on there. So this one is an O'Reilly's lifetime guarantee. So I may set you up over here and video this. Basically, we're going to take this bottom part right here and we're going to set it down in here. Of course, we'll have to take the top and put it up in the hole there and pull this over where she'll line up and get that set in there. Line up them screws on the top and get them started, and we'll get everything started, and then we'll come back and tighten and torque everything down. And then I'll show you where this other stuff goes. This sway bar bolts in this, got a little rod goes down the sway bar, and this is the brake line thing, ties in here, and then there's also a anti-locking brake thing that plugs in right here. So a little bit of stuff there, but not a great lot. So let me get you set up over here and we'll see if we can get this thing thrown back together. All right, let's see if we can get this thing set back in there. Don't need that block, I don't think. There we go. Just needed a little help with the jack there. I should be able to split that down. Not sure we got her little thing lined up. Oh yeah, she fell right in the hole. Lovely. Chisel out of the way. I think that is a 18 millimeter. Or not. Well, I could have swore that's what I took it off with. 19. Well, I got a 19 too. Brake line's in the way. Changes gears on your ratchet for you. I don't want that tight just yet. Just snug her up there a little bit. Get you up here to the top or not. That ought to be fairly close or barely close. You know, look at it. Got a 12mm. Yeah, everything different on this one. There's 12 on the other one. Looks like it's 13 on this one. This is a little heavy duty here. Snug, we'll come back and torque them here shortly. Bring you back down here. If we can get set up right in here where you can see what's going on. Right here on this side first, we got this little arm that goes down to the sway bar. So we'll take this nut off right here and just jack this up till it lines up and drop that in there. And this is about like that strut up there, as far as you got to put an Allen wrench in the center there to hold that at the same time that you tighten it. Let's see what we got on that. 14mm, no. 15. So you have to hold the centerpiece while you tighten up the outer piece. Get my wrench to stay in there. We'll just get these snug down to start with, and then we'll come back and torque everything. Oh, now that we got that on there, I'm going to take it back off and put that brake line on there. You're supposed to have been watching that. What's up with you? Let me do that wrong. You got to watch me closer than that. Well, the joy of editing, I can speed some of this up and add some music to it. Don't look so bad. So which one of you was sitting out there saying, hey, you forgot to put your brake line on? You're going to have to speak up, talk a little louder. I didn't hear you. So that actually ain't the brake line. It's the ABS, automatic, or anti-locking braking system thing. Goes on the front of that. One more time. You get the picture. Right here, this one, that little boot thing right there, go behind that bar. And this little piece pulls up there to the front of it. And then we got a little old bolt that goes in that. And I think that's probably 8. I ain't been right yet, so let's see. a 8mm. Yeah, get one right every once in a while, you know what I mean? Alright, and this little plug, bring it in here, see if you can see this. It plugs up right in there. Click, there we go. That's good. Alright, I'll back you back up here and put you on a time lapse so you don't have to endure every bit of this, but I'll torque all that down and get the wheel and everything back on there. We'll give her the O-shape test before we lower it down, then we'll go take her for a drive. Alright, let's take this thing for a drive. We'll put the seatbelt on. Dinging, dinging, dinging. Still got a little bit of noise there. Some of it's that heat shield underneath the car. I tinkered with that a little bit and got some of it quit rattling, but she seems pretty good on the highway. Well, back roads anyway. Here comes a little bump. Let's listen. No, just normal noise. Center console thing here kind of a little squeaky. Nice car. I guess we tried up the driveway. That's going to be the real test on the dirt road. If it's going to rattle, that's where it's going to rattle at. Easy now. You'll fall over. Put your seatbelt on. Get back with you when we get on the dirt road. We still got a little bit of noise on the gravel. Sling says about it. We took her for a little test drive there, and makes a little noise on the gravel, but car's got a little over 200,000 miles on it. Actually pretty smooth for that many miles, and so I think she's happy with it, but I told her to keep an eye on it. If it starts rattling again, bring her back. We'll jack it up and see if we can find anything else making any noise. Axle CV joints could be getting a little noise out of that, but I think the strut's pretty good, and that thing's smooth silk on the highway. So, all right, we're gonna call it a wrap on the video there. Appreciate you watching. Looking at stats on the channel there the other day, and about 50% of the people watching the videos are not subscribed. Don't cost you anything. Just hit the subscribe button. All that'll do is just give you an update if we got another video posted, and gonna try to get at least one a week. But appreciate you watching, and like, subscribe, share. See you next time.